Welcome into the Sports Gambling Podcast Network's Draft Profiles. We are going to go over Ashton Jeanty, the clear-cut RB1 of this class, one of the best running back prospects to come out in a very long time, possibly even better than Bijan Robinson. A lot of Saquon Barkley comparisons. Almost beat the Barry Sanders record. Daniel Jeremiah has him as the third overall prospect. PFF has him as the fifth. We're going to go through three strengths, three weaknesses, three player comps, and talk about landing spots for Ashton Jeanty. So center of gravity, this guy, he's a bowling ball. You hear all this contact balance is a very popular scouting term, used very loosely by a lot of people. This guy was, he's a beefed up Maurice Jones-Drew. He's 5'9", 215. Maybe weighs a little bit more than that here at the combine. But when you see him get hit, guys just bounce off him. He's got shock absorbers in his shoulder pads, and he does not lose acceleration, does not slow down. And that's, the numbers on here look like a college career, and these are just his stats from this year. The center of gravity is the first strength. This guy had 1,970 yards rushing after contact. That is insane. Strength, explosive, rare combination of quick and long speed. You get a lot of these guys that are, quick, powerful, hit one cut and go. They don't have that ability to change gears, weave in and out of traffic and do that. The Saquon Barkleys of the world are just not a lot of them. And Ashton Jeanty does that really well. You can see him when he changes direction, just be able to maintain that speed. He's very smooth in and out of his cuts. And his vision to set up his blocks and set up defenders is second to none. Dual threat, good pass catcher. He didn't have to do a lot of that this year, just because he was rushing the ball. And one thing we talk about that contact balance. Everyone knew he was getting the ball. Everyone knew he was going to run, and he still had 40 plus 10-yard runs. This guy was facing stacked boxes all the time. The next guy, he had twice as many as the next guy. Weaknesses, there really is not many, but we have to look at things he can improve on. Limited route tree. He's not necessarily an Alvin Kamara, Jahmyr Gibbs, going to be lining up outside. More of a guy that's going to catch those bubble screens, catch some of the dump off passes, do some stuff over the middle. But he's not lining up against, safeties and corners and linebackers out of the slot. Patience. At times he can be a little impatient, where he needs to let the play develop a little bit. This is a guy that he had over 750 touches when he was in college, and that's another bit of a concern. But you look at his high school tape, and he didn't actually play until his senior year. So there's a lot of college wear on him, but there's not a lot of before that. Player comparisons are just insane. Emmitt Smith, Saquon Barkley. You have Bijan Robinson from Doug Farrar. Bleacher Report says D'Angelo Williams, and Saquon Barkley from Daniel Jeremiah. It's just insane. He dominated at Boise State. That's another one of the question marks. There's not a lot of defenses he played that scared you. Not a lot of top, 300 or top 100 players. Only two of the rush defenses were in the top 40. Part of that was because they played against Ashton Jeanty and he went nuts. Teams he's met with at the combine, the Broncos, the Lions, the Saints, the Cowboys, the Bears. And so mock draft landing spots, Cowboys, Broncos, Bears. I know the Bears are they have some more pieces, but Jeanty would be quite the fit there in that Ben Johnson offense. Sean Payton's going to have to. They asked Jeanty today. They said, "Do you think the Broncos are going to have to trade up from 20 to come get you?" And he said, "I hope so." And he said, we'll see. God has a plan, and we'll see where I go. But I hope not. And the Colts met with him, which is interesting. They pick at 15, but there's just so many teams that need running back. Of course, there's plenty of good running backs in this class, and teams are going to probably look at more premium positions with long-term value. But Jeanty's the guy that has that impact that if you have a team that is ready to go or a playoff contender, Jeanty could take your team to the next level. And so you could see teams being aggressive and taking him in the top 15 picks. So I'm going to go with him getting picked higher than lower. And I'm going to get him picked before the first 15 picks. Okay. So let's see what Vegas ends up putting out there. But I think he's going to be a top 13 pick in this draft. Draft projections top 10. I'm going to go top 13 is my, that's my cutoff right there. Let it ride.